Hi, I'm State Senator Joe Bokum. I represent Senate District 43, which includes the city of Iowa City, University Heights, and the town of Hills. It's been my privilege to represent Iowa City and those communities over the last 4 years. I'm seeking re-election for another 4-year term. The last 2 years have been very difficult for Iowa and our country. Republicans control the Iowa governorship as well as the state Senate and the state House. And as they've worked their agenda, it's been really bad for Iowa workers, Iowa educators, people that have disabilities and need our support with health services, and for people that are newly residents of our state. There are several issues, I think, that are going to be important in 2019 and beyond for Iowa to tackle. One is the issue of education funding. Over the last 8 years, Republicans have underfunded our K-12 system, our public universities, and our community colleges, making it more difficult for families to afford to send their kids to college and educate their kids in our K-12 system. We need to get back on track in Iowa with our education funding. It is the foundation of the state's prosperity and the foundation of family prosperity to have folks educated. The other issues that I'm interested in are reversing this disastrous effort under the Reynolds administration to privatize our state Medicaid program. Providers aren't being paid. People that need support with disabilities, mental health issues, are not getting the services they need and depend on. With a new governor, I hope that we can change that and bring this back under state management. The other issue Republicans have done a lousy job with is creating a medical cannabis program that actually helps the thousands and thousands of Iowans that suffer from chronic conditions that could be aided by their access to medical cannabis. Those two healthcare issues are important to Iowans. They're issues that we should get right. Currently, Republicans have not put forward policy in either of those areas to create the kind of healthcare services people want. In fact, we have the worst Medicaid privatization program in the country, and we also, unfortunately, have the worst medical cannabis program in the country. I hope to go back to the State House this next January and work on those issues. A couple other issues that are of interest are, as Iowa grows more diverse, it's going to be important that we make sure every new Iowan is successful. This last year, the Republicans passed a really hurtful, unnecessary law on the issue of sanctuary cities. Of course, we don't have any sanctuary cities in Iowa, but that did not prevent the Republicans and Governor Reynolds from passing a very punitive, hateful law that scares people, frankly, that are here from other places, that they think they are now the targets of Republican policy. We need to reverse that. We need to be a welcoming place for all newcomers. It's our future. The other issue that I'm interested in is the concern for seniors and making sure older people have the support they need to stay in their own homes. In just a few years, about 25% of Iowa's population is going to be people 65 years of age and older. And under Republicans and Governor Reynolds, they've simply cut and cut and cut the kind of supports people need to stay independent in their own homes, which is what every senior hopes to do. So those are a few of the issues. There are many more, but I look forward to going back to Des Moines in January to work on behalf of people in Johnson County. I've appreciated the dedicated support over the years from people in this community, and I ask for your support again in the November 6th election. Voting is already underway. It's going to start on October 8th. You can vote anytime from 8 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday at the county auditor's office. You can request a mail-in ballot, or of course you can show up on election day and cast your vote. Let's have a good election. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Ronkowitz, and I'm running for Iowa State Senate District 43. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I served from 2011 to 2015 as a chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear defense specialist. The reason I'm running for the Iowa State Senate is because I have a very big issue with how all the special interests, the lobbyist-connected groups, the corporate-connected groups, and the political action committees have their way of things in Des Moines. When a good common sense bill, either from the left or the right, starts to get written, the lobbyists swoop in with their red pens. They start dictating to the legislators, this is what the bill has to say. And the legislators, they're afraid to stand up to these lobbyists because ultimately they're afraid to lose their campaign contributions. Now, unlike my opponent, who has taken hundreds of thousands of dollars from these groups, I am not taking 1 cent of special interest money because I believe we need a truly independent legislator. One thing I want to talk about too is accessibility. When was the last time your state senator or state representative has had open office hours or open town hall? I'm sure whatever that answer is, I think it's not enough. I know there's a lot of people who think that whoever donates the most amount of money deserves the most access to their legislator, and I'm totally against that. I think if you're not accessible, you need to be, or if you're not accessible, it's impossible for you to be accountable. So if I'm elected, I will be in the district every Friday and Saturday during the legislative session for town halls and office hours to hear what your concerns are, to hear your voices, because your voice matters, and your voice matters just as much as the top donors. And issues that I think are important. Number one is higher education funding. The recent budget cuts to the University of Iowa and the state region schools have hurt our district tremendously. I will work tirelessly to restore that funding to the University of Iowa. When the University of Iowa got its funds cut, the students saw higher tuition, staff saw lower wages, and overall economic investment in the area decreased. I will not vote for any bill or measure that decreases funding to region schools, and especially any measure that hurts the University of Iowa. Another thing I want to talk about is access to affordable health care. I believe every Iowan deserves access to affordable health care. I want to expand the health market to ensure that Iowans have as many choices as possible, because right now we're waiting on Washington, D.C. to finish the job, and I'm sick of waiting on Washington, D.C. We need to expand the market and ensure all Iowans have access to health care for themselves and their family. Again, my name is Patrick Gronkowitz. I'm running for the state Senate district because I believe that lobbyists and special interests have too much influence on our government. And please, on November 6th or before November 6th, vote for me and elect a truly independent senator to our Iowa State Legislature. Thank you.